In order to configure a router or a switch, you've got to plug into it with a PC. And in order to do that, you're going to use something called a console cable, sometimes called a rollover cable, or sometimes called a rolled cable. And they look something like these. They're usually a flat cable. In fact, I have one right here. This one is like the first picture you see here. It's got an RS-232 serial port on one end. This goes in some of the older style of PCs. And then on the other end, I've got an RJ45 plug that goes into the router or the switch in the console port in the back of that switch or router. Sometimes today you can get them with USB ports rather than, because a lot of computers today don't have this RS-232 port. And this is the type that I'm using here at home for my switches and routers. Once you plug into that, then you're going to use some sort of terminal emulator program, and PuTTY is one of my favorite ones. I'll open PuTTY up here, and we have to do a setup which is typically the standard setup for it anyway. If you're using this style over here, it's usually on COM1, and then 9600 baud, 8-bit stop, 1 stop bit parity, none, and usually flow control, none. And then you would go back up here and you would click open, make sure you're on serial here, and then click open. Now you can also do telnet from this, but of course you wouldn't be plugged into the console port then. You would be plugged into one of the Ethernet ports. So you would choose serial and you would click open, and of course this won't work right now because I'm not plugged in to a router or a switch. But that's how you would then begin to configure that router or switch through the console port.